G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to U-Boat with Mags, or at least the highlights of last night's U-Boat stream. As I promised during the stream, I was independently recording and would be uploading a 1080p 60 video covering the three major battles, the two convoy attacks and the aircraft encounter, and this is it. So let's jump straight into the first encounter, and I hope you enjoy. Alright, so there we go. Now we're in close range mode. It does that small loading screen. We still can't see the targets though. This is our maximum sight range based on the current condition of the ocean and the fact that it's night time. So we have lowered visibility because obviously night. It's a bit rough, not horribly rough. We've got 9 knot surface winds, but it's a little rolly. And yeah, current condition, this is as far as we can see. So what we're going to do...
Auf Seerohrtiefe gehen.
Periscope depth. This will start pulling the crew members inside. Get my lazy first officer out and switch that over to red internal lighting as it should be. Move my radio operator over to the listening room and give him another assigned crew member. And what that's going to do is, as we submerge, bring the hydrophone online, which can hear much better than we'll ever be able to see while we're on the surface. Now, I'm not too worried about being detected noise-wise, so I can probably speed it up once we're submerged fully.
Wechseln auf E-Motor.
There we go. Alright. Alright, so that's our hydrophone range in comparison to what our sight range roughly was. Fairly significant difference. Now, and see, here we go. Middle of an attack, look, sleeping, standing around holding his dick. Captain, get on the attack periscope. First officer, you're supposed to be there. I don't care where my engineer's supposed to be as long as he's doing something. Go turn the pump on. There's water, obviously, in the bilge at the moment that needs to be cleared out. And you should be getting ready to load torpedoes. But I don't actually have a job for you at the moment, but you'll get out of bed in a real hurry soon.
Kurs setzen.
Does the hydrophone range increase if you slow down? Yep, and it will decrease if you speed up. If you take it to maximum speed submerged with the current hydrophone I have fitted, its range is garbage. Also, currently we're submerged for periscope depth, but if we were in rough enough seas that we were getting knocked by the waves, you know, close enough to the surface that we would occasionally breach. On the hydrophone range on the map, you'll occasionally see the actual range suddenly drop and nearly disappear and then suddenly come back. We actually had the sensors for the hydrophone breach the surface and we just lost everything for a moment. So they've actually got the locations that the hydrophone sensors are placed on the submarine accurate, and as the submarine moves and breaches in heavy waves, that's all taken into account. So the detailing on it is, as I said, quite good.
Legen Sie den Kurs an.
Now, we know they're over here. We can't actually hear them at the moment, so we're going to speed it up. We should see,
Schneller, schneller.
as we increase our speed, the hydrophone range should drop. Yep, there we go. You can see it slowly sinking in. Even though we're moving forward, we're only seeing about the same area. We are close.
Langsamer.
Slow down a notch. Where the hell are they? Because we're not hearing them. Detection. There we go. We got one.
Alarm! Auf Gefechtsstation!
And it's heading due north. As I see, you see a little green triangle here showing the direction. So we don't actually need to calculate or sit back and work out what their direction or their heading is. So I'm hoping all of that will go away. Lobbied for a month. You should get a key. When did you receive it? I got the key for this a little while ago now. I've been playing it for a bit, hoping that hoping they do a few updates on exactly what needs to be done. But first offer is asleep again. Yes, he is. Hey Mags, just wondering if this was made by the same people that made Silent Hunter. No, completely different team, which is probably good because I'm not so sure the team... Well, I don't think the team from Ubisoft that actually worked on the Silent Hunter series even exists anymore. And if they did, I doubt, from the fact or the state that Silent Hunter 5 was released in, and the fact that there has never been a sequel since, I doubt they're much interested in Silent Hunter anymore. Alright, so I'm going to go wake up my first officer again. Tell him to get his slack ass out of bed and back on that observation periscope, because I need him awake because he cannot calculate torpedo tracks unless he's up. While we're at it, you get into the bloody diesel engines. It looks like my weapons officer is at least awake, currently warming up the torpedoes. So, doing a torpedo attack in U-Boat. As I said, we've got all the tools to do a proper attack, but the game doesn't actually demand that you do a proper attack, which is unfortunate. Attacking is actually pretty easy, or I say unfortunate. It's unfortunate for those that really get into the sub-sims type stuff. What they do is perfectly fine for anybody who just wants to sink ships as a U-boat captain and isn't too concerned with how they real captains actually did it. So it's actually not far off what they do in Cold Waters. We have 3 crew members here. These 3 crew members are crew members that are qualified to do torpedo calculation. So we have the captain, obviously. We have the first officer, and we have the hydrophone operator, radio operator. 1, 2, 3. We'll assign them all to target freighter A. We can assign them to individual targets, but if you assign them all to one, they'll work out the calculation much faster. Down here, you have a little target site with a percentage number. When it gets anything above 90, you've got a pretty good chance of the torpedo hitting. At 100%, you won't miss. You can still have torpedoes have duds, or at least you won't miss unless the ship maneuvers. If the ship sails in a straight line, you will hit it. Not a guaranteed kill, because you can still get a dud. Once you've hit the first ship in a convoy, the others should start maneuvering, and at that point, it's not a guaranteed hit, but it's highly likely that you will hit. And that's really it. So it's just a waiting game at this point. We're going to bring it back to forward 1. Because I don't want to exactly... And I think I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to turn south for the moment. Yeah, the game itself is fine. I'm hoping that the devs are... Because it's not released yet, and they're still obviously working on some stuff in terms of the gameplay, I'm sort of hoping they've got a proper sub-sim version or some mechanics working in the background, because otherwise none of these tools make any sense. They do seem to be fairly on when it comes to the accuracy of the submarines, though, so I'm expecting that to... I'm expecting them to have something in the cooker for that. Alright, so we got 99, 100% solution on freighter A. Now I'm going to pull 2 off and assign them to the trailing freighter as target B.
Legen Sie den Kurs
Now I
an.
can turn up to position 2.
Schneller, schneller!
Now if I jump out of map mode, just so I can show you as well, you can, from the external view, and it's going to be a pain in the ass to do it from here, and it's a pain in the ass to see because it's nighttime as well, but you can hold the right mouse button, you can assign a new course by just holding right mouse button and dragging a radial around from the bow of the ship, providing you're in the right position. So there you go, you can see it there. So
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
you can do that. You don't have to give orders from the map all the time. It's just easier, and because we're at nighttime, yeah, it's going to be simpler. So our target is A, and this is our torpedo interface. At this point, it's an Empire Explorer, 6,274. 2 kilometers away. I want to close range on that a little bit further, and we're preheating Torpedo 1 at the moment, so I'm going to flood Tube 2.
Bewässern! Legen Sie den Kurs an.
Jawohl.
Making the game fully moddable in June with Steam Workshop support. I look forward to that. I can imagine the modders are going to go ham on this, because everything that they need is here. It's just a matter of building what they need, you know, what extra parts they need to actually turn this into a full-on submarine simulation along the lines of Silent Hunter 3, which I still think is probably the best one in the series. But at the same time, having this whole crew management simulation, which we're probably not going to get attacked here and not going to have too much to worry about here. But when we do get attacked, particularly if we get hit by aircraft, how many of you have played this war of mine? For those of you who have, you'll know that moment when you know everything's about to go wrong and everything you've worked for is about to collapse, and all the characters that you've been taking care of are going to die and everything feels helpless. You get that exact same feeling in this. It's like Bomber Crew turned up to 11, when you've got a crew that you've been working on for ages and then suddenly see them all go down and there's nothing you can do about it. Preheating basically warms up the battery. Yeah, it does a couple of things. Warms up the battery on the steam torpedoes, double checks the pressure, warms up some of the oils as well so that they are a bit more fluid, so they work a little bit better. In-game, the preheating sequence essentially makes it less likely. It reduces the chance you're going to have a dud if your torpedo is freshly preheated. Maintaining 2 kilometers out.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Sehr wohl, Herr Kaloi.
Alright. Target A, 1 kilometer. It's making 10 kilometers per hour. We have 100% targeting solution.
Los!
Firing Torpedo Tube 1, Torpedo Tube 2. And target B. You see the torpedo is away here. I'd zoom right in to actually see it, but at night time, once you get beyond a certain range, it changes into a real external map, so we can't see anything. So we can only track the torpedo, but we will get good call-outs for when it's halfway and how long to impact. So, Torpedo Bay, we're at 98. I'm going to switch our captain over to targeting that freighter as well. And we're going to flood Torpedo 1, because that's freshly preheated. Yeah, this war of mine is emotionally brutal. Indeed it is. And I get a lot of very similar feelings out of this. Once you spend a bit of time with your crew, and you've worked on them, and you've worked on the characters, and you've worked on your submarine, and you start getting attached to the whole lot, and you've got a little bit of a record, and then you get the shit bombed out of you by a couple of RAF bombers with magnetic locators so they can spot you underwater, and you're watching, you know, the various rooms in the submarine are starting to flood, so you're slamming doors closed and trying to pump them out, and then you get hit by another one, and you get fresh leaks, and then you realise you're out of repair parts, so you can't seal anything up anymore, and at that moment you realise that you're fucked. It's, yeah. 20 seconds to impact. Hopefully no dud. No dud. Please no dud. It isn't electric here. 10 seconds to impact. Oh, that was less than 10 seconds. I do love the explosions on this. And yep, I would say she is well and truly knackered. Alright, Torpedo is ready. We're at 99% on target B.
Los!
Firing 2. And
Torpedo Kurs berechnen.
putting all crew members to calculate target for new target A. I'm getting FTL flashbacks. Yep, you will. There is a little bit of FTL in here as well. And as you can see, Empire Explorer sunk, 50,000 value, so that's going to be going to our currency. History Gaming, check for loot. Yes, I will be checking for loot, but first I want to hit these other two. Guess the range estimate wasn't entirely accurate. Yeah, I would guess they were probably off by about 50 meters or so. But, you know, close enough. You're only supposed to blow the bloody bows off. How's the game's performance? The actual game performance is perfectly fine. The biggest issue is it is buggy at this point. When it is running, standard gameplay above 60 seconds pretty much permanently. That's not a problem. My sight's dropping down. Who's dicking around? No, 9 knots. Nothing's changed with the storm. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, above 60 FPS at all times or better. I think I sit closer to 90, nearly 100, so that's not really a major issue on this end. Loading times are very long for some reason, and I don't know why. This is being loaded off an SSD. I'm on a 2700X. I've got 32 gig of high-speed RAM. I should be able to load this entire thing into memory and be able to read it fast. But yet it's still got 5 to second load times between each and every area. Not sure why. And that's an impact. Yeah, I'm not too worried about the bugs, so long as they're keeping track of them and they're fixing them all up, which there has been a couple of major patches over the last couple of days, and I'm expecting more, so... And yep, that's her out. She's burnt to the water. And we've still got another one in there we've got to get. The first one. How's our air doing? Still got 52% oxygen, so we're pretty fine. I'm actually going to increase to forward 3. And head straight north for a little bit. And I'll turn back in once we have a course calculated better, because we're only at 88% for our solution. Yeah. CPU and GPU don't really make that huge an effect, no, but there's still a little bit of it in there. And the load times are still much longer than I would have expected, which wouldn't be a problem if there was only 1 or 2 load times, one or two moments of loading in the game. Once you've started up, that would be perfectly fine. I would have no complaints at all. But there's a mini loading screen every time you enter an encounter, every time you go near a shoreline, every time you transfer out to deep water, every time you do something that involves you encountering anything of any kind in the game, there is a mini loading screen which pauses the game for 5 to 10 seconds. And if you're transferring between a couple of areas that are very close, you can have them chain. So you'll have a loading screen, 10 or 15 seconds of gameplay. As you move, you'll have an encounter and you'll get another loading screen. Then you'll fast travel through the encounter and you get a loading screen back to open sea, and then you'll get a little bit too close to an island and suddenly you'll get another loading screen. And you'll get them chained out, which is really frustrating on missions when you're operating very close to the shore, which you will have to do. They need to optimize that a little bit. That's definitely something on the cards. Fix the bugs and optimize those loading screens. Those the loading or the transfer moments should be instant. Barely a pop-up, maybe just a card, nothing else. It shouldn't pause gameplay like it is. Yeah, I've seen it dealt with in Unity Engine is the thing as well, though. I mean, my primary example for that one is always Subnautica. Speaking of which, I've actually got to go and do the below zero thing soon. But Subnautica did have a little bit of a loading issue when it came to popping, but for the most part they managed to work out a streamlining for it, which, if applied here, would take away the problem. That's what needs to be added. Hopefully it will be. As I said, I don't criticize games too hard when they're in the early access period. I do make sure the problems are listed out, which is really frustrating on missions when you're operating very close to the shore, which you will have to do. They need to optimize that a little bit. That's definitely something on the cards. Fix the bugs and optimize those loading screens. Those the loading or the transfer moments should be instant. Barely a pop-up, maybe just a card, nothing else. It shouldn't pause gameplay like it is. but I'm not too horrible with them at this stage just yet. I'd be a lot more harsher with it if it hasn't been optimized and smoothed out by release. And there are definitely ways around it. And that's all it really needs. Just a little bit of streamlining on the loading so it's not constantly jamming the game closed. Or stopping the game every time you're doing a transfer. 99, so we're going to flood tube 3.
Bewässern.
Tube is flooded.
Los!
And torpedo away. Now, I'm not doing the report yet. Obviously, we're underwater, so I can't report at the moment anyway. But we're up to 75,000 with these 3. With this ship being sunk, we should jump to nearly 100. And that's our currency for ship upgrades. So we'll be able to do something with that, I hope. Now, torpedo's almost at 50%. So let's go over to the view on this one.
Legen Sie den Kurs an.
And we just accidentally changed course, but that's not a major issue at this point. Will I stream below 0 as well if I can? Yeah, sure. I can most certainly stream it, providing the net stays stable. At the moment, I'm sure the gameplay is a little bit choppy on your end. The big thing that I'm watching at this point to be able to stream is it's not bouncing all over the place. It's a flat line in terms of bitrate transfer, and that's where it's at. So hopefully it'll stay. And there we go. The animations for that are really cool, by the way. I really do like the animations for the ship destruction. I love when you hit the smaller boats, the smaller ships you'll encounter, little fishing boats, or ships that are about half the size of these. Hit them with the torpedoes, and they almost flip. They almost flip, and that's it. She is done. All right, so let's leave this view, and let's go back to our little U-boat and give it a few new orders. So first things first, let's change course. I want to go into the group. Let's drop our sails back to forward 1 and set depth to surface.
Tanks anblasen. Legen Sie den Kurs an.
Bestätigt.
Come on. We're going to be really close when we let go of these first torps. And it's going to be a frontal attack too. What is our current range? That is not... Yeah. Alright, torpedoes up. Flood, tube 2.
Rohr 2, bewässern.
I'm pretty sure B is our target ship.
Rohr 2 fertig.
How's the game? Pretty good. Been looking forward to getting it for a while. Yeah, the game itself is very good. The early access is a bit buggy. I have to keep saying that because it is. We haven't ran into too many here at this point. We've got enough light here we can actually see the ships on the surface, which is much nicer. But I have had the game full-on crash quite a number of times doing various things. Part of the reason why I'm not manually taking control of the periscope or any of the spotting, which you can do. I can take control of the periscope and do all of this from periscope view if I want to. But it will occasionally crash the game, or freeze the game, or cause parts of the game to break when you do so.
Torpedo, ausrichten.
Start working on target A. Now this time we should be able to zoom in enough, and yeah, there we go. We can see the torpedo sneaking through, and if you look closely, it'll occasionally breach the surface on the waves. Now that's a low visibility, that's a T2 electric, so that's just the wake off the torpedo itself moving, it's not a bubble trail. The T1s are quite a bit more visible. At least I'm pretty sure that's a T2.
40 Sekunden bis Torpedo-Einschlag.
Looks like a good mix of arcade versus realism. Yeah, if you're only looking for something that's sort of not quite a full sim, but is fun to play, yeah, what is currently in game is perfectly fine. Mechanically, there's nothing wrong here. It is very good.
20 Sekunden.
It's lacking a few things for
Kurs auf diese
full-on
Koordinaten
simulation.
Ei, Herr Kaloi.
But
10 Sekunden bis
I think we
Einschlag.
actually selected the wrong ship there, so we should see that one explode, I think. Yep, there it is.
Minimale Schäden.
Minimal damage, my ass.
Rohr 2 geladen.
That took a hit straight to the bow. That should have messed it up. Oh well, no matter. Set speed forward 1.
Langsamer.
Bestätigt.
Yeah, that's okay. Wolfpack is good for the full sim. Yeah, as I said earlier on, I haven't tried too much of Wolfpack yet.
Legen Sie den Kurs an.
My big thing with Wolfpack is the last time I looked at it, it was a little bit dry. I think I've actually got to get new code for that as well. But it was a little bit dry. I know it's a small team working on it, so I wanted to give them a little bit more time to flesh it out a little bit more before I looked at it again. It has been a little while since I've looked at it though, so it might be worth taking a peek.
Legen Sie den Kurs an.
Sehr wohl, Herr Kaloi.
I found the name, Lothar von... I don't actually remember the name, but I'll definitely look that up. I'll have to check him out. Possibly a future historical
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
video once I get that sorted. Alright, let's get... Hello, Flood
Rohr
Torpedo
3,
3.
bewässern.
Troop 3, please. Now...
Rohr 3 bewässert.
It took a hit straight in the nose, and it's going straight through. So it must be fine. That's alright. That's alright. I can work with this. I can work with this. I have a torpedo launcher out the back too, or tube out the back too, so I can do something here. 97% solution. So is this a dynamic campaign? Yep, pretty much. It is a, they call it a sandbox campaign. But yeah, you get your missions, you get your patrols, and then you have stuff happen, new events, new missions assigned to you completely on the fly. So yeah, dynamic campaign. Essentially, yeah. As far as I've seen so far, I should be able to influence events based on my own actions. So, 194 ships, 53,716 tons. Yeah, that's not horrible. That's not
Kurs auf
horrible
diese
at all.
Koordinaten setzen.
Alright, 99% solution. This is another NAA.
Los!
Flood tube 2.
Rohr 2, bewässern.
I've still got 100% solution on him. I wonder...
40 Sekunden bis Torpedo-Einschlag. Rohr 2 fertig.
This might be risky, but I'm going to try it anyway.
30 Sekunden.
Torpedokurs berechnen.
Gives me a beat.
Los!
That is going to be a close torpedo release.
20 Sekunden.
Alright, so we should have an impact here, and if I did that right,
10 Sekunden bis
10
Einschlag.
seconds to impact. And torpedo missed. You can see it just going past the bow there. Torpedo missed. God damn it.
Der Aal ging daneben, Herr Kaloi. Treffer.
But, whoa, that hit.
Rohr 3 geladen. Schwere Schäden am Rumpf.
Alright, so the second torpedo,
Wir haben ihn. Sie sinken.
yep, that was far more effective.
Kurs setzen.
Zu Befehl.
Yeah, 200 to 300 meters. Yeah, that was about right, but that is sufficient. It did the job. Let's go.
Rohr 3,
Flight
bewässern.
tube 3. And I can't change the speeds
Rohr
here.
3 bewässert.
Ah, of course, I've flooded the tubes already.
Rohr 2 geladen.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, the problem is position of this submarine at the moment. I've got to wait till it actually brings its nose around before I can fire off any additional shots. What I can do, however, is select the next freighter over.
Torpedo-Kurs berechnen.
I want to keep you
Torpedo
assigned.
ausrichten.
Alright, there we go. So calculating the second freighter. Alright, how is everybody going on in here? You do need to check through your crew every now and again too, because you will have crew members that will crack under stress. Like this guy here is having a moment. Who have we got here? You're loading torpedoes.
Kapitän.
West, get out of your bunk. Go down and speak to these guys. No, they're fine. They're not cracking completely. Alright, so they're not completely wigged out yet. Discipline's at 100%, so I don't think anybody's slacking off. You will have crew members that will get lazy as well, and they will just try and have a nap mid-battle. Although, the fact that the officers do it as well... And looks like we nearly got a torpedo loaded. You familiar of the U-boat sinking because of the toilet incident? Oh, I am very familiar with that story. I have a script that is 2/3 written that was going to be for an historical video on that particular event because that was freaking hilarious.
Schneller, schneller! Legen Sie den Kurs an.
Yeah,
Jawohl.
getting around here is going to be a little bit of an issue. So I need to avoid this wreck. Alright, now
Legen Sie den
turn
Kurs an.
north.
Jawohl.
I'm going to be shooting from the rear, which I don't particularly want to do, but at least I should have
Kurs auf diese
mobilized these
Koordinaten
two.
setzen.
Zu Befehl.
One man does the job while the others watch. Yep, it's a military, alright. Yeah, I'm not going to say you're wrong, because you're not wrong. Alright, so, NA1. Tube 3 is already flooded. Shot
Los!
away. Switch to NA1, target C, 100%. Tube
Rohr
1
1
just went
bewässern.
in. And
Rohr 1
tube
bewässert.
flooded.
Los!
Torpedo away, and these are going to both hit in the stern. So fingers crossed they'll completely destroy the ship. I'm not 100% convinced they will.
40 Sekunden.
Hopefully
bis
they'll
Torpedo
disable the
einschlagen.
engines at the very least, and from that point we can finish them off as we need.
30 Sekunden.
So, let's get onto your camera,
20 Sekunden.
and hopefully we don't miss.
10 Sekunden bis Einschlag. Der Torpedo ist auf halbem Weg zum Ziel. Der
And it's a
eigene
miss.
Rückenhacker läuft.
God damn it. It was gonna happen. It was gonna happen.
40 Sekunden bis Torpedo-Einschlag.
What's the difference to target? It's still only a kilometer target.
Minimale Schäden.
Rohr 2, bewässern.
Oh wait, it didn't
30
miss.
Sekunden.
It did impact. It just impacted late.
Rohr 2 fertig. 20 Sekunden.
Okay, well. That didn't work out quite the way I was expecting it to. That one looks like it's going to hit. Yep. Ooh, there it is. I'm still hearing a running engine, which is unfortunate. Health is dropping though, so she is flooding to the rear. Though it has slowed down, but that... Yeah, that might have her knackered. We may not have to worry about her much. Let's go and have a look at a sister ship over here. Very similar to condition. Yeah, unless you hit these things directly in the sides, they don't stop. But these two might be suitable for a deck gunnage. Because I'm going to have to end this soon, and I might as well show off the deck gun while we're at it. Alright, let's surface the boat. Let's unflood that tube. Let's shift some crew members around here. Radio operator, get back on the radio.
Wechseln auf Dieselmotor.
Switch to diesel engines, which we're doing now, which is fine. You get down there and turn on the pumps for the compressors. And let's get the first officer up onto, once it's available, up onto the deck gun. And captain to this spotter's position. We don't appear to have any new radio messages in at this time. You will hold forward 2. Where are you? Here you are. Manual mode, please. The AI was trying to target the ship back there that we had most certainly already sunk. This is why I'm flicking over to manual mode. So we've only got 20 HE and 15 AP on board, which is actually kind of pathetic. So we'll load up the HE for a start. Now, what I'm trying to do with the HE here isn't actually, you know, blow holes in the hull. This is a cargo ship that'll be loaded up with goods. If I hit the right point, I should be able to trigger a fire. And she should burn. At least that's the idea. Probably a little bit higher. And worst comes to worst, I can just torpedo her again to finish her off, so I'm not too concerned. It's about that rear section just in here. I've hit before. Now I see why you don't use the deck gun. Yeah, this is pretty much it. And that is looking very promising. She's out.
Kapitän.
Yeah, you can stop shooting it. It's sunk. Actually, she's should be sunk. Apparently the HE in this is strong enough that it'll actually resurface the boat. And that should be C done as well from the looks of it. Yep. On 0. That's all of them sunk.
Kurs setzen.
Herr Kaloi.
Lead position. You can go back downstairs now. Yeah, that's it. That actually worked surprisingly well. And we have a contrail. What did I tell you? What did I say? Yep. Deck of wash. Do I want to... You know what? I'm not going to submerge. Ideally, at this point, I would actually go straight to periscope depth, pull the periscopes down, and leave it at that. But I'm not going to do that, because that's not going to be any fun. And we're going to end the stream. We're going to either shoot down a plane, or we're going to get bombed. Because why the fuck not? So, let's just fast forward ourselves along, and we should... Where is it? Come on.
Alarm! Auf Gefechtsstation!
There it is. Okay, so...
10 Uhr.
First officer, time for you to get up and get on... Ah! Controls. Crew members assigned. Now I do want to change course here.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Let's go 4 and 5. Bring it up to flank. And let's have a look at what our plane is. And I reckon it'll be a Sunderland. Have a look at that. It's quite well modelled too. I've got to give him props for it. It actually is really well modelled. Alright. You're getting a little bit eager there, mate. It's a bit far out. It is a little bit far out. Alright, it's getting ready to turn in. Change course.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Manual mode. Whoa.
Sehr wohl, Herr Kaloi.
Oh, got some hits. Reloading and... Oh, this is gonna hurt. This is really gonna hurt.
Schadensbericht.
Okay. Let's wake up Newman. Where are our injured crew members? Come on, Newman, get up here. First aid.
Legen Sie den Kurs an.
Kapitän. Herr Kaloi.
Now would be a really good time for you to get out of bed. Damage. We have a leak. Repair it.
Herr Kaloi.
Change course
Legen
again.
Sie den Kurs an.
Alright, where is it? It's coming around to our front right, so it's probably going to make a pass again.
Kapitän.
It's just circling around us at the moment. Give it one more pass and then I'll try and submerge away if I have to.
Erledigt. Schaden repariert.
Alright, repair completed. So the leak's been sealed. back to my submarine. Now, Loris, turn on the pumps. We have water to clear, and we're going to need it cleared.
Langsamer.
Gosh, waves here. It's coming in from the rear. Change direction, change direction. Why are you not shooting, you idiot?
Alarm! Auf Gefechtsstation!
I'm lucky we changed course then, otherwise we'd be really knackered, but it looks like I actually got the aircraft.
Kapitän.
And more injured have we got? Ah, damn it. Alright, leaks are pretty serious. One Sailor 2 is still in critical condition. 5 leaks around the boat. One sailor has been stabilized.
Kurs setzen.
Alright, in this case you can get off the guns. Where are our leaks? That's being repaired. One there. Hole in the hull. Up the front. Can we do anything for him? Yes, we can. Alright, we can stabilize a crew member. That wasn't so bad. That was only one Sunderland. I've been hit by 3 and 4 before. Now, where is... As I said, it doesn't just disappear, it comes in. It looks like they managed to soft land it. We popped one of their engines and they actually managed to get it down. I'm not actually sure where we are in relation to that. It'd have to be this way. But yeah, they managed to soft land it. So at this point, I'm going to leave them alone.
Erledigt. Schaden repariert. Erledigt. Schaden repariert.
I'm hoping, yeah, we are sinking a little bit here at the moment. Just a little bit. This is a problem. The rest of these, come on. It's just that one left. Alright, so it looks like we are actually keeping the hatch open all the time is probably not a great idea, guys, here either. Forward 2, and I need to get this thing moving. What would be the best way? West. Compressor. Sorry if I'm not paying attention to chat here, guys. I'm just sort of
Erledigt.
making sure this whole thing actually gets screwed back together.
Kapitän.
Double check. 772. Alright, so we are ticking down in water now. buoyancy's down a little bit, but we're, for the most part, okay. Diesel engines are just about clear. Well, they're clear enough that we can actually fire the engines up now, at least.
Langsamer.
Alright, we should, hopefully, have a moving submarine again. Yes, we do. Alright. Alright, so there we go. That was an encounter with a aircraft and managing to bolt the boat back together. And that was just one. So yeah, you can picture what multiple aircraft cross-dropping the submarine with depth charges can be like if you're on the surface. And keep in mind, they can detect you at least to some level when you are submerged as well, which makes things real interesting in a real hurry.